Kim Jong-un, it's been nice knowing you. You're fucked. You're fucked. You got 10,000 rock-hard dudes with machine guns who just got trained by the Russians. This table keeps getting smaller and smaller.
Cheers.
Cheers, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to MKUsual. Like MK Ultra, but more normal.
It's Tuesday Newsday.
Tuesday, isn't it?
It's Tuesday, isn't it?
Oi, governor.
Crikey, mate. You call that a knife?
Give me your wallet. I'm a road.
They call me the humbugler.
I think I saw the humbugler on the trail the other day.
The humbugler. Well,
we got some big news this week.
Tuesday Newsday. I got a couple stories for you. And then later we're going to do This Week in History. You ready to get started?
Let's do it.
All right, number one. This comes from the Standard World News. North Korean troops, who, by the way, are helping to invade Ukraine now. They're fighting with Russia. North Korean troops have been allowed access to the internet, and now they're addicted to porn. As 10,000 North Korean soldiers arrive in Russia, claims have prompted a response from the Pentagon. It's been reported that North Korean soldiers who have been deployed to Russia are, quote, gorging on pornography after being given unfiltered access to the internet for the first time. The claim comes from Gideon Ranchman, chief foreign affairs officer at the Financial Times, who said that a usually reliable source shared the news with him. The tweet says, a usually reliable source tells me the North Korean soldiers who have deployed to Russia have had unfettered internet access, have never had unfettered internet access, and as a result, they are gorging on pornography. According to Seoul's defense minister, that's South Korea, more than 10,000 North Korean troops have arrived in Russia to support the war in Ukraine. A spokesman for the U.S. Department of Defense responded after claims of the North Korean soldiers' internet habits gained traction, stating he's unable to verify that any North Korean internet habits or virtual extracurriculars in Russia. As for internet access, that's a question best directed at Moscow. Right now, our attention remains on supporting Ukraine. Of course, internet access is not widely available in North Korea, which only permits high-level officials and foreigners granting access to international websites. On Tuesday, Ukrainian Defense Minister Rustem Umerov told South Korean media South Korean media that Ukrainian military battled North Korean troops in small-scale clashes for the first time. That's pretty much it. That's it. That's the story. North Koreans got out of North Korea for the first time to fight in Ukraine, and they are immediately addicted to pornography.
You think they had to like start at the beginning of porn, like boobies?
Oh yeah.
And then like lesbian boobies, and then like, you know,
they had to start the way we did. Yeah.
Yeah. They had to like go through, and then like,
I wonder if they didn't find it almost an accident, if they weren't like,
they were actually,
they just saw like a well-nourished woman in like a news article or something, or they just like, you know, they just saw a lady who had breasts and
they were like
didn't have rickets.
They were like scratching at the screen to get her clothes off.
Yeah, and then they, you know, one of the Russians was like, "Hey, you want to see something really cool?"
And then they showed him Two Girls, One Cup, and that's.
I tell you what, I'm gonna say this about. I thought when they were sending North Korean troops into that war, I thought, man, they are gonna get ate up. These boys are going to get ate up. But now that they know what they're fighting for, I don't know, man. You show a 30-year-old North Korean guy tits for the first time, or like hardcore porn, like that dude Yeah, what?
Like a BBW
Yeah.
African queen.
You show him that, and
He's never seen that before.
they will do anything to win this war and achieve that. If it means getting out of North Korea or,
Well, they're going right back.
well, probably. They're like rent-a-soldiers. But what I'm saying is like just a frenzied, porned up. A guy who's never
that's
he's never seen a Fruit of the Loom commercial. He's
never cracked open a fresh J.C. Penney catalog.
No. This guy, all he knows is torment and death, and all the ladies in his village, dying in the cold.
He saw a burlap sack on a woman once, and she fell in the river, and it like clung to her figure, and then his cock shot off of his body like a test missile.
I need to go back. I feel like Kim Jong-un messed up here. He should have given him rules like when you put your kid with a babysitter or your kid goes over to a friend's house, he should have been like, do not show them porn. Do not show them porn. I do not need 10,000 soldiers coming back home
and
immediately losing their porn access. They're going to overthrow North Korea. Maybe I had it all wrong. They're not going to fight harder. They're going to do whatever they got to do to get back and kill Kim Jong-un. This is the end of the regime. And they're going to tell the other guys.
I don't know. They're just going to be like drooling and fucking drained of all their energy. They're going to have zero vitality left in them.
That's true. This could go either way.
This is a fucking...
But you remember being 15.
This is a jackpot.
This is a jackpot, yeah.
Pun intended.
We won through our decadence. It's one or the other. It's either going to make them hyper ineffective.
Well, here's what I did the first time I got unfettered internet access and discovered porn. I typed in boobies.
Okay.
I was 27 years old. No, I was like, how old was I? First time I looked up, well, I figured out that you could look for naked women on the internet, and then I was like, fuck, I knew that I knew how to clear my search history before I, just to like, whatever. Look up boobies, clear my search history, and I'm like, damn, this is risky. Every time I do this, if I forget. So then I was like, I'm going to print some off. I'm going to pick three.
That's the most risky.
I'm going to pick three of my favorite. I'm going to print them off. They're going to be in black and white, so Dad doesn't get pissed I used all the ink. And I queued them up, printed them off, cleared my history, and shut the computer off. Little did I know, I queued up 3 copies of each. And only one printed, so the next time my parents turned on the computer...
When you shut the computer off? Okay.
They just like, oh, what's this? Burp, 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 burp. Tits. Great tits. I'll never forget what that picture looks like, honestly.
You probably won't, because you have a whole story
my mom
attached
held
to
it up
in
front of me and asked me what this was, and I said, Mom, those are rockin' hogs.
I said, Mom, this is America. Those are rockin' hogs. I'm rockin' American hogs.
There's men in North Korea who've never seen rockin' hogs before.
That's what I'm saying. It's either going to go one way or the other. I keep going back and forth. This is either going to win Ukraine the war.
It's a quandary. It's really a fucking...
I think this is the end of the regime. I think they will do whatever they have to do to survive. They know what's possible now. They know what's possible in the West. They're going to go back. There's like 1 million people
Think of all the women
in that army.
Think of all the women in North Korea who've never had an orgasm, and they're gonna see these guys are gonna see like squirting videos, and he's gonna be like,
God,
babe, check this out.
I feel terrible for. Well, that's.
Then they're gonna be malnourished and dehydrated.
Kim Jong-un, it's been nice knowing you. You're fucked. You're fucked. You got 10,000 rock hard dudes with machine guns who just got trained by the Russians. They're gonna tell 10 friends. All the 10 friends are gonna tell 10 friends. You have a 1 million person army. You're gonna have to nuke your own people, or you're gonna have to give them porn. It's over. It's over.
They're gonna get rationed porn. They get like one blowjob a week, and then every year on Porniversary they get an anal video.
But it has to be Kim Jong-un has to be the guy in the video.
But it's gonna be like some buff dude with a Kim Jong-un
With the mask.
Yeah.
You're like, this is...
It's gonna be like a black dude with a 10-inch cock and Kim Jong-un's head. No one fucks like the Emperor does.
No, nobody fucks like King Dragon or whatever the fuck he's called. You'd be like, so you know my secret. You've seen all my videos. I go around the world shape-shifting and making love to beautiful women. Well, that was... Okay, I got some...
What else is going on?
I got some science news for you.
Daisy's all worked up in a lather now.
I know. She's like, what?
You're not getting unfettered internet access, Daisy.
We can't do it. This is from NBC News. Science news. Octopuses, I always thought it was octopi, have been seen hunting together with fish in rare video and punching fish that don't cooperate. Octopuses, octopi, I'm going to say octopi. I don't like to say pusses. This is a Christian podcast. Octopi have often been thought to prowl the seafloor solo using camouflage, but a new study suggests that some have surprisingly rich social lives. Video shows octopi hunting with other groups of fish species who they're like controlling, by the way. They're like roving around with a gang, like a motley gang. I read this earlier of other types of fish, and then they're like, these fish are like their dog pack.
Okay.
So they're like roving around telling these fish what to do, and when one doesn't cooperate, they hit it. They like, whoosh, if it doesn't contribute.
So what are they hunting? Human beings?
So it says a species of octopus maraud around the seafloor in hunting groups with fish, which sometimes includes several fish species at once. The research published in the Journal of Nature on Monday suggests that the famously intelligent animals organize the hunting group's decisions, including what they should prey upon. What's more, the research witnessed the cephalopod species, often called the big blue or day octopus, punching companion fish apparently to keep them on task and contributing to the collective effort. Octopi have often been thought to avoid other members of their species and prowl solo, but this new study suggests that some octopi have surprisingly rich social lives, a finding that opens up a new window into the marvels of undersea life. It's an indication that at least one octopus species has characteristics and markers of intelligence the scientists once considered common only in vertebrates. We are very similar to these animals, said a scientist, in terms of sentience. They are at a very close or closer level to us than we think. To understand the inner details of octopus lives, researchers dived for about a month off a reef off the coast of Israel, tracked 13 octopi, pusses, following them around 13 hunts, during which they observed groups between 2 and 10 fish working with the octopus. These hunting groups typically included several species of reef fish, such as grouper and goatfish, working together. The octopus did not appear to lead these groups, but they did punch a fish to enforce social order. And they would train them. They get more. The ones that get more punched are the main exploiters of the groups. These are the ambush predators, the ones that don't move and don't look for prey. So if the group is still very still and everyone is around the octopus, it starts punching. But if the group is moving along the habitat, it means they're looking for prey, and the octopus is happy, so it doesn't punch anyone. Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Groupers are fucking huge. They're like, this is saying an adult grouper is 7.5 feet long. And these,
oh my God.
Like, how big is a fucking octopus?
How big is a blue octopus?
Yeah, this is
First of all,
getting crazier.
Octopuses are like crazy smart.
Yeah.
What?
We already knew that.
They like break out of their...
highly venomous.
Well, interesting. Not that big. Octopuses might be aliens.
I've heard that.
I don't believe it. But they are so smart and they can do such weird things. And now they're training gangs of marauding fish of different
big
species to this is like Hannibal with his elephants, or how Genghis Khan, he domesticated his horses and he's riding around on them, and or how people domesticated wolves to help them hunt. I think it's scary as hell, dude.
This is like in another few thousand years they're gonna have like octopus civilization.
We're gonna see an octopus like come out of the water like riding a chariot.
Yeah.
Of like some kind of fish. What happens when you're hunting? You're like, oh, I got bit, and then like 30 different types of fish, and the octopus is just sitting there like orchestrating the whole thing. Octopuses are weird. I'm probably gonna on Tuesday Newsday, whenever I see an octopus story, I'm probably gonna do it. I find them super fascinating.
The scariest part of all this to me was when they were talking about the collective effort. They're fucking communists, bro.
Yeah, the octopuses have unionized the ocean.
That's the scariest.
But yeah, I don't know. I just didn't want to do all politics and tits.
Yeah, we did a couple pusses.
We did some pusses too. Some octopi. Octopussy. This next one's going to piss you off. Any more thoughts on the octopus? If you got thoughts on octopi, I want to know, do you say octopuses or octopi? I don't care what the AP says.
Yeah.
I want the will of the people. The elite media has controlled what we call these creatures for too long.
AP, what's that stand for? Associated Pusses?
Associated Pie. This one's going to piss you off.
Okay.
I read this the other day. Ambulance hits cyclist, rushes him to the hospital, and then bills him $1,800 for the ride. Says lawsuit. An Oregon cyclist who was struck by an ambulance that made a right turn into him, fracturing his nose and leaving him with scrapes and other injuries across his body, has filed a $997,000 lawsuit, $1 million lawsuit, against the ambulance provider after workers scooped him up, took a right turn, hit him, scooped him up, drove him to the hospital, and then billed him for the service, according to the suit. Attorney Travis Mayer says the ambulance provider, Columbia River Fire and Rescue, sent his client 71-year-old William Hosh an $1,862 bill for the ambulance ride. That's among the about $47,000 in medical expenses that Hosh has racked up so far, and another $50,000 of medical costs he expects in the future. The suit claims the Fire and Rescue Service declined comment. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Co. didn't respond for request either. The suit claims that he was uninsured or underinsured. Motorist coverage is obligated to cover any damage that the Columbia River Fire and Rescue is unable to. According to the lawsuit, Hosh was pedaling through the small town of Rainier in Columbia County when he and the ambulance were traveling the same direction on a street that's a mix of homes and businesses. The ambulance attempted to make a right turn onto another street, crashing into him and destroying his bicycle. The crash happened in front of the Columbia River Fire and Rescue's Rainier station, so they must have been, that's odd. According to the police report, the driver who struck Hosh and passenger in the ambulance estimated the ambulance was going between 2 and 10 miles an hour when they heard a thump, stopped, and saw him injured. His bicycle was crushed under the ambulance reel. He's seeking over $900,000 in damages. That's the American healthcare system, folks.
Well, that does piss me off. I've also I've been hit by a truck on my bike.
Oh, really?
Going between 2 and 10 miles an hour. And I was starting a job that day. The guy he was a military dude who's in uniform, so he was like nice and very apologetic, freaking out. I was like, I'm fine. I didn't hit my head. Just scraped some bruises. I'm late to my fucking first day of this job, which I needed at the time. And I just went to work.
Yeah. I mean, this was a guy in his 70s.
Right. Yeah. So that's what, yeah.
Also crushed his bike. Maybe, I mean, he doesn't look that great in this photo. I guess I can screenshot this and put it up.
Why is he wearing a trash bag?
I don't know. I think that's just going over him. Maybe I might not put it up. You can Google the story. I don't know if I want to put this guy's photo up.
I'm also reminded, I used to watch these apparently like bike couriers in New York in like this, I don't know, 80s maybe, 70s or 80s. They used to keep, they would either have like a bike lock or a chain in their hand when they rode, and when like people would cut them off, they would just smash their mirror off of their car or like smash out their window when they rode by. Like, oh, this guy cut me off and almost killed me.
That would be irritating.
And then they'd ride through the light while the cars are like slowly taking them and just like.
I had mixed feelings about bicyclists.
Yeah. I was a cyclist I had no car for like 7 years. I rode my bike everywhere. I hate cyclists too. Because it is impossible to like see. People glance like when you're driving and they just see the outline of a person, but that person is going like 20 miles an hour. So they'll glance and then they're right in front of you.
There's all kinds of assumptions
But
too. Like
the cyclist doesn't, I don't know.
When you're pulling up, if you're pulling up to like a stop sign or stoplight, you assume all the cars behind you are also like slowing down as well. Right. While a bike might be like fucking speeding up to, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I don't know. But to run over a guy and then hand him a bill for the ambulance ride is wild.
That's infuriating.
It's wild, dude.
And they don't have insurance. Like, it said they were going the same direction on the road, and then
took a right.
They just didn't check to see if he was there, or he could have been in a blind spot, and they slowed down a turn, and he like.
Or shit happens, but in order to get to $1 million lawsuit, the lawyers have to send demands. They have to say, I intend to sue you. You have to send medical records to the insurance. I'm sure they're insured. You have to send, demands to the insurance company and say, pay my guy, here's the bills. They could have just paid him.
Right.
They could have just paid him. But at the very least, even if it's the bicyclist's fault, you don't charge the guy. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Are you so?
Maybe I'm talking myself out of this. Maybe if it was his fault, they should charge him. Am I evil? It didn't really seem to say whose fault it was.
So are you saying that the reason he's suing is because they're failing to?
No, he's just suing for his damages and stuff.
Okay.
I mean, so they obviously haven't compensated him for his medical bills yet. You know what I mean? Like,
and it was saying that he was not insured or underinsured.
That insurance part, I think I read that wonky. My mouth isn't with me today.
Well,
I mean, he probably isn't. Here it is. The suit claims that Hosh's uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage is obligated to cover any damages that they are unable to, that the Columbia River fire is unable to.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure what that means. But yeah. Okay, anyway. You know what? If it was his fault and he was tooling around, then I guess, yeah, you probably should have to pay. Anyone else would have to pay.
Just when I didn't trust big medicine.
They go and do the right thing. No, this is fucked up. They hit a bicyclist and they... Yeah. Anyway, that's the... those are my 3 big stories. North Korea porn. Octopuses are marauding the ocean floor. And the American healthcare system has somehow gotten worse.
You want to lighten the mood up?
Let's lighten the mood up. Smoke a da ganja. No, we don't smoke the ganja.
No.
We were going to do this day in history. What is that thing?
So
What am I looking at? Can you hold it up for the camera? What is going on here?
Well, it's a battery pack with my little Juul charger.
Oh, that's a Juul. That's the battery pack. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I thought it was like, it looks like an antenna. Like it looks like it's something that's like sending out information somewhere. Well, so we our producer has told us that we're not educational enough. So we have a new segment we're gonna do weekly for you to try to educate you fools, to try to get you thinking about long-term things. And that segment is called, for lack of a better, more creative, this week in history. We're just gonna do the whole week. This is the week of November 11th. So we're going anything that happened from November 11th through November 18th. You get it, 17th. So I guess I'll go first. This week in history, in 1938, LSD was first synthesized by Albert Hofmann, giving white men the ability to feel empathy for the first time. Ego death or whatever. Is that one of those drugs? I've never taken LSD. Is that one of those drugs?
I took LSD in 2017 at South by Southwest, and I met these people from like Beijing. And we, at that time, we're talking, no, it was before 2017. It was 2014 or 15. And we were doing bits about Kanye being the president.
That's so funny.
Yes.
You were seeing the future, dude.
Yeah, I think yeah.
You got a historical event here. I believe you did your research.
Yeah. This week in history, the year 1417, Martin V was unanimously elected Pope, bringing an end to the Great Schism. Quoted as saying in a formal address, "I know the pieces fit, 'cause I..." Sorry, that's a Tool joke. I was gonna do the whole song, but then I pussied out.
Dude, you got really into it for the minute you're into it.
I know.
What's the song? I know.
Schism.
The pieces
fit.
fit.
Yeah.
This week in 1944,
Daisy hates Tool.
Daisy. This week in history in 1944, Danny DeVito was born, full-sized. There were no survivors.
This day in history, celebrate a birthday. Russian novelist Fyodor Dostoevsky was born on this day in 1821. Novelist and short story writer whose psychological penetration into the darkest recesses of the human heart, together with his unsurpassed moments of illumination, had an immense impact on his ability to crush puss. Rest in peace to Fyodor Dostoevsky.
Crushing puss. Crushing pie. Russian pie. Russian puss. We had something there. Finally, this week in 1923, Adolf Hitler, the man himself, was, I didn't have to say that, was arrested for his role in the beer hall push.
The beer hall push.
Proving that who among us hasn't made a few mistakes after a couple beers? This is so bad.
This is a Christian podcast.
This is a Christian podcast. You want to know the... Okay, I'm just going to put the cat out of the bag. You want to know the craziest thing about that joke? It's the only one of the 5 here. We just needed one final joke. That joke was written by ChatGPT. That's why I'm laughing so hard. I was like, I'm tired. We gotta record right now. And I was like, here are 3 historical events. And I gave it 3, 2 others that we didn't do, and then this one, and then I just busted out laughing. ChatGPT.
ChatGPT, more like Chad GPT. He's just one of the boys.
Based. I was like, I gotta read that. I gotta tell the story. I don't typically use ChatGPT for jokes, but this is just a goofy segment. Well, I believe that was an
episode.
That was a successful episode. We're going to try to do more for you. We're trying to...
Yeah.
If you notice that this episode's a little short, that's because we're going to start doing more episodes a week. We're at least going to try to, and we're going to try to give them all themes and stuff, or at least some consistency. And we're going to try to let you know, we're going to try to... Yeah. Yeah, so it's not that we're
coming hard and fast.
We're coming hard and fast. We're gonna try to give you a daily almost thing to listen to, and so that if you like stuff, like if you like Tuesday Newsday, you know how to go back and find those, or if you like whatever we do tomorrow, the day after, you know how to go back and find those. And we're gonna try those for a while. And in order to put together that many shows, they're gonna be a little shorter, but we half an hour average commute. Pop us on in the morning, pop us on at night, pop all over Daddy.
She just came over here and farted and left.
Jesus Christ. Well, Nick, any final words?
No.
Peace out, dick
We love you.
weeds.